Hi guys, so I just want to talk to you about how I got started in IVF. So everything leading up to cycle day 1. So first off, me and my husband have been trying to conceive for about a year and it just wasn't happening. So we decided to go to a fertility doctor to see, what exactly was going on and what we could do to kind of help us conceive. So we went and we talked to a doctor here in Dallas, Texas, and he decided to run some tests on me, myself, and also my husband to kind of see what was the problem. So after you do your first consultation with our doctor, once we sat down and actually talked about it, we went right into testing. So if you are going in for a consultation and you think that you're just going to talk, you might want to ask them that we can be prepared. We actually went in and talked, and then we started doing the whole testing procedure. So after we talked, and he told us if there's many different things that could be wrong, it could be something wrong with him, it could be something wrong with me. So we just need to figure out what was wrong. So first thing we did was a sonogram to go up, to do a vaginal sonogram to go and look at the insides of your uterus, to see if there's anything in there that could be possibly stopping you, all that. So we went and did that, and that was all good. We also did the blood test. We did pretty much every test you can think of. They checked your hormones. They check, what else did they check? They did hormones. They did, of course, all the STD tests, AIDS tests. They did sickle cell, any genetic tests that could be wrong with you. They did all that as well that day. Then, so they said they wanted to do a HSG on me. I had no clue what it was, and they were like, oh, they're going to go in, and they're just going to see if your fallopian tubes are open. So I was thinking, oh, this is going to be easy. It's going to go in there, it's going to look, shoot some little dye up there, and it's going to be all good. And no. So originally I was going to come in a couple of days later because it has to be done between 6 or 10 days on your cycle days. So in between those days before you start ovulating, because they didn't want to mess up anything if you could possibly get pregnant that month or whatever the case may be. So I decided to go ahead and do it that day. The same exact day I went in for my consultation and did sonogram and blood work. I decided to go ahead and get mine out the way, because I think I was already on cycle day 8. So we went in there. They do give you antibiotics just in case to prevent infection or anything. So we went in there. In my doctor's office, my husband wasn't allowed to go in there with me, so it was just myself, my doctor, and then a nurse. At our place, they lay you on this table, and there's a sonogram. Not a sonogram, but an x-ray machine is kind of hanging from the wall, and you can see your fallopian tubes in your uterus, which is really neat. So then they go in, and of course they clean out your cervix, and then they insert a normal pap, and then they insert a catheter. That catheter is going to insert dye. It's going to push dye into your fallopian tubes, and it's supposed to come leaking out, and that's supposed to let them know that your tubes aren't blocked and that they're open for service. Well, with mine, they went in and they were, he was trying to push the dye in there, and it just wasn't happening. It wasn't going nowhere. It was just trapped inside of my uterus. And it was, a lot of people I didn't watch on YouTube, and even nurses was like, oh, it's not going to hurt that bad. It's going to be uncomfortable. You might feel cramping. No, that was a lie. For me, it hurt. It felt like, I can't even explain it, but it was really, really, really bad. So that is when I discovered that my tubes were actually blocked. Okay, so once I finished the HSG test and we had figured out that my tubes were blocked, I went home. Right afterwards, I felt okay. I felt a little uncomfortable, but I felt okay. So, but once I got home, I was laying on the couch, I was trying to drink water. They told me to go get some Motrin. or some Tylenol or something. So I tried to take some Motrin, and it did not help. The cramps were so bad. It felt like I had like gas inside of my stomach or inside of my uterus that was just expanding it, and it just was not going anywhere. So I was so uncomfortable for pretty much, I got it done, I think it was around like 1:30. So for the whole rest of the day, it was like miserable. So I would suggest, depending on how sensitive you are, whatever the case may be, if you do get it done, to do it to where you can go home right afterwards and rest, because the way I did, it was horrible. Now, all this testing and all that is all covered under your normal insurance. It counts as a specialty doctor, and for our insurance, we pay $40 per visit. So that's why we were trying to get everything done in one. The HSG for us was $80. So I guess it just depends on what your insurance covers. So all the stuff leading up to the IVF for us is covered under our insurance. Now, once you get into the actual treatment, the medication, and the actual egg retrieval, and the when they put the embryos back inside you, that is what is not covered under our insurance. So I guess as time goes on, I'll just let you know how much we have to pay for it as time goes on. But luckily, everything is kind of spread out to where you can kind of pay, chunk by chunk. But yeah, so so that's it. I mean, that's all that's been going on. So but yeah, so I guess I will just talk to you in my next video to go from there. Bye.